going back to Amazon. So, I mean, that's my reason for starting this podcast. 17 years is a huge amount of time to stay in this space where you've been able to exercise that discipline, to apply methodology, put away the emotions, and so it's not easy. And of course, there is something new all the time. It's not like, we're not talking crisis. It's something new, market forces, competition, and you find yourself thinking, "Oh my God, how are we gonna do it?" And then Amazon throws something in the mix to make it even.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's what keeps you young.
It's never a dull moment. And as I look back on it, that Marine training, I did 4 years in the Corps, and it was another lifetime ago. It was I'm much more soft and malleable now than I was back in those early days, but it was really good training for being able to survive on the Amazon platform. And why are we there? Because that's where the shopper is. The shopper is there, right? They figured it out. They beat the pants off of everybody else, and you have to be there. But it's also, I've become more empathetic towards Amazon and their plight, along with the plight of Amazon sellers over the years. And, you just have to constantly be evolving. It's why this company that's $1 trillion valuation company just keeps getting better. They do not rest on their laurels, and they're constantly working and improving. And in order to succeed in anything in this day and age, you have to do that as well. And so sometimes I'll cuss and swear at Amazon, but then at the end of the day, once I figure it out, I'm like, oh, now I understand why they're pushing this. In most, there's 10% of the cases where I'm like, I hate you, Amazon, don't do this. But most of the time, there's a good reason for it. And after you've gone through the struggle and the process to adapt and to figure out the process, like I'll give you a good example. At one point, I was a drop shipper. Overnight, they started punishing you if your shipping metrics were not perfect, and I had to stop drop shipping. I mean, that was like half of my, I had an 8-figure business that was like half of my revenue at some point, and I had to slowly cut that business off. Otherwise, I was going to lose access to the Amazon shopper. But you know what happened? As much as I was swearing and cussing during that process, at the end of the day, I was like, oh, this is a much better experience. I'm actually able to build a brand now because I'm able to deliver. I'm able to tell people when it will arrive, and able to deliver faster. And my overall company got better as a result of that change. And so, and that's what happens when you're training for things like the Marine Corps and the battlefield is, a roadblock is presented and you figure out how to climb it, go around it, or blow it up. Right. And that's
so I'm going to give you something. I mean, this conversation, we're not having chit chat, by the way. This is for my listeners. We are talking here real serious methodology for mindset, which is what drives everything. It doesn't matter how good you are at numbers, metrics, marketing, listing optimization. You've got the wrong mindset, forget it. So what we are talking about is mindset.